It's great. What's up, them boys? Neha here, back again for another video. But we're gonna talk about Pluribus, bro. We're gonna talk about the best character of the year, Kara, bro. She's been doing that thing for me, bro. This show might actually be my favorite of the year. Like, we have Adolescence, we had Severance season 2, we had Andor season 2, and even with the highs that those shows have had, I still might have to give it to Pluribus because it's so interesting and it's shot like it looks visually beautiful. Um, the cinematographers on they're going crazy, brother. Where they're using light and shit like that is crazy. The storytelling in this is phenomenal. It damn near gives me somewhat like Barry vibes, but it's a bit more than Barry. It's definitely a bit more than Barry. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that is bad. Barry is a great show. I love Barry. I know I don't get to talk about it much on here, but Barry's one of my favorite shows of all time. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited to say that this show does give me that vibe. It also gives me Death Stranding vibes. I don't know if y'all played Death Stranding or know what Death Stranding is. You should know it. It's Hideo Kojima. Come on, the goat. You know what I'm saying? But Kojima could even made something similar to this. That's how good it is, man. No, that's just putting Kojima on a pedestal. Let me stop the glaze real quick. Let me stop the glaze real quick. Vince Gilligan really did his thing with Pluribus, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He is. I'm gonna say he might be 3 for 3, but the show's not over yet. But from a first season, it's pretty good. Let me tell you what I liked. I have a couple highlight episodes. Obviously, episode 1 definitely. It's one of them ones. If you don't like episode 1, I can probably say episode 1 and 2 because I feel like it's kind of like a care package deal. They could have probably made that a little special if they wanted to. But that bit is really good. You're just chilling, and all of a sudden, everything just starts going crazy and shit like that, and you don't even know what's going on. And then you start seeing everyone starts getting into this weird invasion collective mind thing. I'm not trying to spoil too much, but it's just like fire, bro. And then you just see Carol by herself and shit like that. And I've been hearing a lot of complaints about, oh, how Carol's been acting in this season and shit like that. I actually like it. I think it's genuine and I think it's real, dude. I kind of like following an asshole, bro. We don't usually get to follow a character like that. That's interesting, at least. You know what I'm saying? Or we see them turn into something a bit more demented, aka Walter White and shit like that. But this is actually interesting to see. I like seeing Carol go throughout all of this, and she tries to handle things like the way I think regular people will handle it. And I feel like the storytelling makes it a bit organic because there's going to be information that we know within the show that she doesn't know yet because we're seeing the whole world. Like, they're basically, I'm not trying to, hey, listen, man, 10 out of 10, episode 1 for sure. I, I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 because I can see how there's a little stuff. Maybe it drags a little bit. The show, I will say, is a slow show. That's what gives me Death Stranding vibes because it's a slow paced thing, but it builds up to great, great finality, bro. Honestly, it's just great. Carol's relationship with the hive mind is pretty interesting. I could say I like how it bounces back and forth and shit like that. Like, it's teetering, and you feel like you never really know what's going on and who's really telling the truth. That's how I can say it without even really spoiling that bit. There's a lot of mind games going at play, and even though they say these certain things, I still don't take them at face value. That's always this underlying thing, and they're still doing shit even when they say they're not doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really trust this hive mind shit. And I really fuck with the show where you're always on your toes, bro. Not like it's always suspended, like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But it's like one of those too good to be true type things. You're feeling it right here in this show, and I definitely enjoy that. Episode 7, the Bonosos one. Is that the one where we're really just dived in? Let me make sure I look at the notes. Episode 7, written by Jen Carroll, highlight for me as well. I like the quiet moments and the terrible singing Carol has in that episode. I'm not trying to spell too much. I will give you guys a little bit of notes though, what I wrote down. Terrible singing. Carol gets toxic with the hive, but she still gets, you know what I'm saying? There's still some shit going on there where the plot is still interesting, bro. This is why I love a toxic character, bro. I'm gonna talk about how I love Carol all day. So let me try to go into this notes. Monosos, dude. Following Monosos and just seeing how everything progressed and follow him and shit like that, and then just like how they react to seeing each other. Their dialogue is peak, bro. It's honestly peak. It's peak, and their actions that they take is actually threw me for a loop. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of not too surprised it ended like that because what's her name was getting. I'm not gonna say too much, but let's just say something changed. Like roles have definitely been reversed, and it's interesting to see Manosos come over here. He learned. He did his Death Stranding stuff. I'm not gonna spoil. But yeah, overall, I definitely enjoyed the show, man. I'm gonna say season one is definitely a solid one. I enjoyed it. It could be slow for some, so I would say it's probably like somewhere like if you're not into slow things, you can't really not put down your phone and shit. Don't even watch this show. But if you really want to slow burn and shit like that with great storytelling, great visuals, you'll probably enjoy this show, bro. That's all I have to say, man. But I'm gonna talk to y'all boys later, man. Peace. Oh, I didn't get to say. Let me know what you guys think about the show below. If you talked about it, I mean, let's try not to keep it too spoilery. But if we have to do spoilers and stuff like that, we could do it. We're in 2026 now, so I don't know. But all right, then, boys, I'm gonna talk to you later. Peace.